JD Vimmer, part of Venom Nation Wrestling, and I am hosting a pay-per-view prediction video here today, a live stream here today. This is usually Chase Oliver's platform, but his internet crapped out on him. We had to get some things, work some things around to get this shit up and going, but god damn it, we're here. We are here to talk about NXT Takeover Toronto and WWE Survivor Series 2016. Both pay-per-views are this weekend, and but right now I do have both guys here that we usually do this here with. First and foremost, it is Chase.
What's up, guys? Fuck AT&T. We survived all the bullshit, and we're still here. And I'm Tyler breezing this. I'm doing this on my phone, using my mobile data, so holding it. I wish I actually had a selfie stick. That would actually be pretty useful right now.
Yes, the white man's keeping Chase down, it looks like here. And also here with us as well, as usual, Ross.
Yes, thank God I don't have AT&T internet. I know what Chase is going through. It is horrible, horrible internet, but we still make it through all this, and we're doing this now, so.
Yeah, I used to have AT&T internet too, and it is god fucking awful. I'm just making sure that the stream and everything is up and ready to go. Okay, it looks good. Okay, all right, so we're on YouTube and everything here, because I usually live stream on my gaming channel and whatnot, but yeah, I had to fix some things here, and it looks like we're good here. Okay. All right, so we're back here again talking about Survivor Series and NXT Takeover. We're gonna start all over again. Just because of the fact that, you know, like we're talking about Chase's situation kind of crapped out on him. But we are back here, and, yeah, let's talk about NXT TakeOver live from Toronto. And we have several matches here on the card. It looks like 5 matches are here on the card. I'm not sure if they're going to add a 6th one later on. But let's start from the very beginning, and let's talk about Bobby Roode versus Ty Dillinger. These guys are actually feuding against each other right now, and this is two of the most popular NXT wrestlers here. And yeah, I mean, this is a good feud to maybe start off the night with these two here. Bobby Roode obviously with the gimmick, with the great entrance. You know, I'm wearing my Bobby Roode shirt here. I also have an NXT jacket here. I'm a mark. I get it, but. Yeah, I mean, this match should be pretty good, should be, a pretty good way to open up the show, if it does actually open up. It's just my prediction, but, I'm gonna go with Bobby Roode winning this match here, just because that, I honestly think that Bobby Roode is gonna be, geared and primed for a NXT title reign. Ty Dillinger, you know, he has a possibility of winning as well, by maybe like a roll-up or something like that, if he does win, but, yeah, I'm gonna go with Bobby Roode for the victory here at NXT Takeover Toronto. Ross, what do you think about this match?
I think Bobby Roode is going to win this match. Should be a good match. May start off the show. Wouldn't be surprised if it did, since the crowd is going to love both of these guys, but especially they will love Bobby Roode. So, yeah, not it. I don't really have much else to say, but Bobby Roode all the way. Glorious.
That's right. That is fucking right. And what about you, Chase? What do you think was going to go down at NXT?
I think it's going to be a fun matchup. I'm really looking forward to this one, just because both talents are really good. I like Ty Dillinger a lot. Of course, I've always been a big Bobby Roode fan, but I want to give the win to Ty Dillinger here. I think that he needs it a little bit more. I feel Bobby Roode can always rebound and, you know, earn his shot on, like, the NXT TV shows, like the weekly tapings. So I feel like a loss to Ty Dillinger here wouldn't really hurt him all that much. And if anything, it'll help Ty Dillinger, you know, launch pad and everything like that. Because, you know, he's been kind of a guy that has been slept on by the WWE for quite some time. I'm not trying to say the guy will be a major star or anything like that, but for what he does on NXT, he kind of deserves like a nice little rub, like, here you go, kid, here's a big win, and this would be a nice little stage. And plus, you know, Bobby Roode coming back to Canada, WWE when it comes to hometowns and everything like that, like the curse their superstars, so I gotta go with Ty Dillinger here.
Yeah, okay, alright. Well, that match should be pretty damn good opening up NXT Toronto. So let's get on to our next match, and it is the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic finals. You got TM61 of Nick Miller and Shane Thorne versus the Authors of Pain. And a gimmick match here also, as well as that Paul Ellering being suspended above the ring inside of a mini steel cage, and that is old school to a degree. They used to do this a lot back in the day, in the 70s and 80s. But nevertheless, though, you got the dominant tag team, the obvious favorite of the Authors of Pain, versus TM61, who's been growing on me a little bit. I didn't really like him at first, but they've been growing on me a little bit. And I really think that this match is going to be a, not necessarily a show stealer, but a lot of people are going to be shocked on what kind of match that these two teams could put up against one another here. I'm going to go with the Authors of Pain because, obviously, Paul Ellering is managing them. Paul Ellering managed the Road Warriors, which is possibly the most dominant tag team in the history of professional wrestling. And I simply think that that they're building these guys up for possibly a tag team title shot sometime down the road. They're obviously primed for it. But I'm gonna go with the Authors of Pain here to win this match. Chase, what do you think about this match, and who you see coming out winning?
I like TM61 as a tag team. I just want to put that out there. I think they're a really good tag team, and I can't wait for the matches with them and Revival further down the line. Who's going to win? Oh, it's not the Authors of Pain. I mean, they're getting the good stroke, and they deserve it. They're good. They're two good big wrestlers, and something missing in the tag team division in quite some time. Just like a dominant force who can stop these guys. I mean, yeah, we got the New Day on the main roster, but they're not really like big. Well, I'm talking about like Demolition, the Road Warriors, just guys that just go out there and beat people up and are so dominant. So the Authors of Pain are going to win. We had like a face team win the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic last year in Joe and Valor. So I think it's fine that a heel tag team wins the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic in 2016.
Absolutely. Well, what about you, Ross?
Yeah, I gotta agree. Gotta go with the Authors of Pain here to win this match. I don't think it's time for them to lose yet. They're still undefeated, right?
Yeah, they're still undefeated.
Okay, so I think it's good to keep them undefeated. Like, not everybody needs to go undefeated for like a long period of time, but for the Authors of Pain, it makes sense. Like, these are two big behemoths. Yeah. So, why not have them have a pretty lengthy undefeated run? So, I gotta go with them to win this and be the next contenders for the tag belts.
All right, that sounds fantastic. All right, so let's go into our next match here, and we are going to be looking at the Tag Team Championship match of the Revival versus DIY. 2 out of 3 falls for the NXT Tag Team Championship. My boys, the Revival, again, the team that I've been loving ever since they really started to gel together. In NXT, it's been a couple years already since their NXT tag team run, but they're going against DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, and very popular with the crowd. I mean, they're about as over as American Alpha was, about as over as Enzo and Cass was. And I truly think, it hurts me to say it, but I believe that DIY is gonna win. It's time for them to actually win the titles, and just make them the new face of the tag team division in NXT. My boys, it hurts me to say that, but I'll be shocked if the Revival win again. They proved me wrong last pay-per-view. I did not think they were gonna win at Brooklyn, but hey, maybe they'll prove me wrong again. I hope I'm wrong. But I truly think that it is time for DIY to actually win the tag team titles. Ross, what do you think about this?
Going back to the Dusty Rhodes Classic, I think Authors of Pain will end up facing the winner of this match, and I don't think they're going to face the Revival. I think they're going to face DIY, Gargano, and Ciampa. It's a long time coming for them. They deserve it at this stage. They had a great match at Brooklyn. Like, I'd probably say that it was my favorite match on that show. It was just awesome. So, with this being 2 or 3 falls, I expect to go 1-1 down in the third and final fall. And DIY wins. I don't remember what their finisher is at the moment, but I would assume they would win with that. Revival can then move on, maybe get a rematch on one of the weekly episodes, and then get called up to the main roster. I would prefer them on SmackDown, but they could get moved to Raw. So I don't know. We'll see. But they definitely need to be called up after this and start DIY's tag team championship reign here. So let's go.
Chase, what do you think about DIY versus the Revival for Takeover?
It's going to be a great match. Probably going to be the match of the night, if not match of the weekend. I know that's kind of a high praise, but their Brooklyn match, like, just go back and watch that match over again. You know, if AJ Styles and John Cena didn't exist that SummerSlam weekend, that could have been match of the weekend as well. And I think this 2 out of 3 falls match is going to be really good. I agree with you guys that I think DIY is winning here. I agree with what Ross said, that they're going to face the Authors of Pain for the NXT Tag Team titles. I just feel like the Revival, they've done everything that they could have in the NXT Tag Team division. They've done a great job. They had a great feud with American Alpha. They did good stuff with Enzo and Cass early on in their tag team title reign. I just think it's time for them to kind of finally move on up and go to the main roster. Like Ross said, I would prefer them on SmackDown because I feel like with Raw, they would kind of get lost in the shuffle. And also, like the SmackDown crowd, they would appreciate more of what the Revival brings to the table because the Revival, they're not really the most flashiest tag team. It's just like how they say, no flips, just kicks. You know, they're just there to beat people up. They have great psychology. They do a great job with what they have in their skill set. They don't try to go above and beyond their skill set, which I appreciate from both men. So, you know, the Revival, they've done a good job. I used to shit on them a lot. I used to make fun of them a lot, but they turned me into a believer that they could be a pretty decent tag team down the road. So
that's right.
Yeah, DIY, they're a good tag team too. Ciampa and Gargano. You know, I feel like that these two guys deserve it, and I feel like we're still going to get good matches with them taking on TM61. That could be a weekly show match. I think them and the Authors of Pain would make a good dynamic there. You know, both guys are smaller guys. The Author of Pains are bigger dudes. I just feel like if you have the Revival go against the Authors of Pain, yeah, it's not just because they're heel versus heel. I just feel like you're just diminishing everything that the Revival has done for the NXT Tag Team circuit by just having them be so dominant as a team and just for them to get squashed by the Authors of Pain. That's just me, at least. So that's why I feel like it would diminish them a little bit. That's why I feel like DIY, they're like the perfect platter for the Authors of Pain to take the tag titles off. So DIY for the win.
Yeah, and I probably believe so with that as well. Everybody's in agreement with DIY winning. And speaking of DIY, and this is a scenario, this is someone bringing it up in the chat, Draven G. Thank you for your question. If DIY loses again, do you think Ciampa will finally snap? I'm gonna say, I think that's gonna be an obvious decision by Ciampa if he finally snaps. But the thing is that if DIY loses, then it's like you got your tag team division who needs DIY, who the fans are really supporting DIY. You know, it's really gonna cripple the tag team division in NXT, in my opinion, because you're really gonna have only really 3 teams left: TM61, Authors of Pain, and the Revival. What do you think about that question there, Chase?
Shout out to Draven. I'm glad you showed up to the chat. And yeah, you know, like Ciampa and Gargano, I'm pretty sure they would have a good singles feud. But I would say that further down the line because there's no way you're going to pull up Ciampa or Gargano onto the main roster anytime within the next year. So you can have Ciampa snap anytime in like 2017 and have a good little NXT side feud there. Like I feel like if they lose here, like, and we see that snap happen, you're kind of just like rushing things. You're kind of rushing to the conclusion of the tag team that is DIY. So really, to be honest, like I said, it's more of like they need to win now. The fans are supporting them. They're red hot. You're turning them like that's just like a random turn. It's not like DIY has accomplished everything they could do as a tag team, you know. So they still have a lot more to accomplish as a team than just being singles dudes on NXT because there's no way because if Ciampa turns heel, he's probably going to go over in the feud. Like, is Ciampa really ready to face, like, Shinsuke, Joe, Bobby Roode, and Austin Aries and be a main single star on NXT? No, not really. So that's why I say, like, the turn would kind of be, like, a waste of time. It'll just be more of, like, oh, remember that great Cruiserweight Classic match? Let's just have that again randomly. It's like, nah.
Yeah, and completely agree with you on that. What about you, Ross?
Yeah, I wouldn't do this turn just yet. I think it makes sense to do it eventually, but given the current state of the tag team division in NXT, I think it's time to have have a run with the belts. Since the heels have pretty much had a run for a long time. American Alpha only had like a really brief month or two reign as champs. So give DIY a little chance for a little bit, and then maybe after WrestleMania or something, or in the right before summertime or something like that, you have the switch and Ciampa turns heel on Gargano. I don't want this to be like a Y2AJ kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not exactly like it, but like kind of the NXT equivalent. Like, we have DIY as a tag team for just like a couple of months or so, or whatever, and then they just split apart just like that. Like, what the heck, you know what I mean? So, I mean, they've only been DIY for a few months since the Brooklyn special, right? That's when they came up with the name.
Yeah, they came. Well, they actually came with the name at the Brooklyn special. They're like, do it yourself. And when they were like handing out the T-shirts, they said, oh, they're gonna win tonight. That like, cause they're like having the T-shirts, but yeah, it was at Brooklyn.
Yeah, so that's like a couple months. That's like basically the equivalent of like making Y2AJ shirts for a couple weeks, like, you know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, oh my god, man. Those are gonna be limited editions years to come. Like, those are gonna be like highly sought after T-shirts years to come down the road.
Yeah, just like a random T-shirt you want to have, like, it's like, remember Y2AJ and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Alrighty, so going to our next match here, we got the NXT Women's Championship of Asuka versus Mickie James. This is really supposed to be Trish Stratus, Trish Stratus, versus Asuka. Have Trish Stratus get a big rub off on her. Then Trish Stratus decides to that one night just have somebody to fuck her, have her husband fuck her, and get pregnant. So Trish Stratus couldn't keep her legs closed enough time to not get pregnant. But seriously though, it's Mickie James versus Asuka. Mickie James is a great replacement for Trish Stratus, and I think that this is gonna be a fine match. Obviously, Mickie James is here to put over Asuka. Now, my main question is that are we gonna see more of Mickie James? Is this just gonna be a one-off thing, or are we gonna be seeing Mickie James every now and then, maybe be on like a John Cena type schedule, but only appear on maybe Raw or SmackDown and maybe be there, or maybe stay in NXT, or maybe become a coach or something? Is she gonna be part of WWE for the long run? If the money's right, I will say definitely so. But I'm gonna go with Asuka winning this match, just because, I mean, she's the dominant champion. She's gonna be primed to face off against Ember Moon within the next up and coming months. Ross, what do you think about this here? What do you think about this NXT Women's Championship match?
I think it's a nice match here. Not really anybody else primed in a good position to face Asuka just yet. Ember Moon still needs just a little bit more seasoning. And then Billie Kay and Peyton Royce are just starting to get their feet wet. They're just starting to get their groove going. So they're still a whiles away as well. So I think it makes sense to just go in and have Mickie James come in there, make Asuka look like $1 million.
Right.
And yeah, that's about it. Like, it's gonna be a really good match. And Asuka will not.
Oh no. Oh wait. Sorry guys, I had a my donation thing is on. Oh my god, that's not supposed to be on. Sorry. Alright, wait, no, we're good. Keep going. I just have it muted here. Alright. Alright.
Oh shit.
It was the Masturbation Celebration donation that I get on my it's fucking amazing. Like when you guys watch it back, if you guys happen to watch it back, like you see just Rusev just keep Yes, it's fucking amazing. But anyway, all right, let's continue here. Let's I'm sorry about that. Let's keep going.
Okay. So yeah.
Asuka winning. All right. Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I think Asuka's definitely going to win this match. I think Mickie James is definitely on a long-term deal with the WWE because, like, I don't think James. I always tell people here, you know, Goldberg, and we'll talk about Goldberg in a little bit later on and stuff like that. But like, Goldberg's not just here for Survivor Series. Because if Goldberg wants the money he wants, they will have to pay him, and you have to talk about state tax and performance tax and everything like that. So we're going to see more performances from Mickie James. Whether it's just be on NXT or the main roster, I think it's a good addition. I feel like the SmackDown Women division could definitely use her help more than the Raw Women division because hashtag Golden Children on Raw, that's a clusterfuck on its own.
I feel like Raw is really thin though.
Like, it doesn't matter how thin Raw is. They have the Queen. They have the Queen, Ross.
Raw's women division absolutely sucks, in my opinion.
Yes, it does. It's terrible. But it doesn't matter, because they have the Queen, so that's all that matters. But, yeah, I think Mickie James is here for the long haul. Maybe just for this 1 year, maybe 2 years pushing it, but I think we'll definitely be seeing more Mickie James in 2017. The real question is, Justin, is she coming out to the clapping song or hardcore country?
I want to hear hardcore country. Hardcore country, because it would just throw everybody. It would just throw everybody off. As like, what? Like, it would just throw everybody off. I don't know. I think that would be good. But
Side note. I hope that Charlotte gets a Mass and Reigns theme. I love that theme song. That's my favorite.
She's a killer queen. Yeah, that's a fucking awesome song. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that is a fucking awesome theme song. Absolutely.
Yeah, you think maybe they'll bring in Velvet Sky next?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe.
That's beautiful people.
Yeah. All right, but all right, let's get into our main event. The main event that I think that it is very highly anticipated. This feud has been absolutely fucking amazing on the way that they're using Samoa Joe as this dick heel, as this guy that just does whatever the fuck he wants, pretty much, in NXT. And it is fucking amazing on what they're doing at NXT TV right now with Samoa Joe versus Shinsuke Nakamura. This is gonna be possibly the match of the fucking weekend. Period. It's either gonna be this one or the tag team title match. DIY versus the Revival.
Match of the weekend is gonna come from this show. It's not coming from Survivor Series.
Yeah, I will be shocked. I will be shocked if Survivor Series. Now, I was gonna probably say maybe, you know, before Miz won the Intercontinental Championship, I would probably say, hey, Dolph Ziggler and Sami Zayn, they have a chance. They have a chance to burn the hell.
Raw versus SmackDown 5-on-5 has a chance, I think.
And I agree with that as well. I do agree with that as well. But let's be honest, the NXT is gonna, you know, NXT, whatever's the best match of NXT Takeover is gonna be the best match of the weekend, in my opinion. But nevertheless, Samoa Joe versus Shinsuke Nakamura. This is gonna be a hard-hitting match. You know, Shinsuke, he is showing another side of himself. It's not the fun-loving Shinsuke Nakamura. No, this is gonna be a strong style. I'm gonna knee you in your fucking head. I'm gonna give you a concussion type of Nakamura, and this is gonna be very, very intriguing to watch. I just hope I see some hard-hitting action here. I'm gonna go with Shinsuke Nakamura. I think it's kind of obvious that you know, Nakamura's gonna win. He is the face of the NXT. He's on the level of the Finn Balor. He's on the level of the Sami Zayn type of champion in NXT. But yeah, I mean that's just my prediction on Shinsuke Nakamura and Samoa Joe. Chase, what do you think? What do you think about this match here, and who do you think is gonna be coming out the victor?
Oh, I'm excited for this matchup. Last time I said this would be the match of the weekend for SummerSlam, and it highly disappointed But now I think these two are actually going to go out there, and it's just going to be a classic old school Samoa Joe match. And then Shinsuke Nakamura influencing the strong style, trying to break Joe's jaw again. I mean, I'm excited for this matchup just because these two are going to just go at it. It's going to be batshit insane. The crowd's going to be hyped for this one. And Shinsuke is going to win. Samoa Joe, his run as NXT champion, let's call it how we see it. He was going to be a transitional champ to Shinsuke anyways. He was just there for the American audience who don't really know Shinsuke Nakamura all that well to put him over because, Samoa Joe, he's a big name when it comes to American wrestling. People know who Samoa Joe is from the hardcore fan base standpoint. Sure, some hardcore fans do follow New Japan, but New Japan is mostly followed by a lot of more people lower than people who follow WWE and TNA, So, when it comes down to it, Joe has more of a recognizable name and value, and it helps Shinsuke Nakamura that he beat a guy like Samoa Joe. And, Shinsuke, he has the possibility of being, the best NXT champion just because he oozes actual natural charisma, unlike most of the guys that have been NXT champion. You look at Neville, you look at Finn Balor. Finn Balor has charisma, but that's really only in his entrance. Shinsuke, you can watch this guy enter, you can watch this guy wrestle. He's just like one of those guys who has, a total package when it comes down to what you look for in today's professional wrestling, and just in general when you look at wrestling, can he speak better English? Yeah, for sure, absolutely. But at the end of the day, he doesn't need to really talk to get his actions over. He's definitely a special talent that the WWE shouldn't rush anytime soon. Put him in the right place, right time situation for him to be on the main roster. I feel like what he's doing on NXT, he actually makes NXT interesting for me at least. I don't watch NXT on a week-to-week basis, but I do watch mostly what he's doing. Unlike most of the time when Finn Balor was champ, I didn't really care because I saw Triple H Golden Children shit, and I didn't care. While Nakamura, he's only a silver child. He doesn't get that much favoritism, but he's way more entertaining, way more interesting to watch. So, yeah, Shinsuke is winning this one. Samoa Joe probably debuts at the Rumble, hopefully.
Yeah. I would not be mad at that at all either with that. Ross, what do you think about this match?
I like the build-up for this match a lot. What Samoa Joe's doing, just coming out, wrecking people, beating people fucked up. It's awesome.
It's almost like Joe in 05 TNA when he was all or 06 TNA where he's like, I'm the NWA champion, give me the NWA title, and he had that strap match with Jeff Jarrett.
Oh my fucking god.
Fans revenge.
I like how at times Samoa Joe has been I'm protecting myself so I don't injure you, Nakamura. During the contract signing, he brought his own table out and is like, I'm just gonna sit back here because I don't want to injure you, Nakamura. I want you to be safe for our match. So, he's just being arrogant. He knows that he'll destroy Nakamura, so he's just being a prick. So it's really good on television. Probably the best stuff we've seen on NXT in a while, storyline basis at least. But I think Nakamura is gonna win this match here. Joe's gotta move on to bigger and better things up in the main roster. Probably SmackDown. I think he'd be a better fit for SmackDown.
Go under the cruiserweight division. It's not about weight limits. It's about no limits.
Oh, God.
He's only going to be on 205 Live.
205 Live and then just...
Featuring Samoa Joe.
Yeah, that would be pretty shitty, actually. I'm sorry.
Imagine Samoa Joe dropping to 205.
Yeah, it'll be Samoa Joe the crackhead at that point. You can't eat more of those cheeseburgers, man.
Yeah, Nakamura, he's gonna have a long title reign. He'll get called up at some point next year, I'm sure, but yeah, Nakamura's going over here, and I don't know what he'll do next, but I guess Rude or I don't know.
It has to be Rude.
Else right now.
I mean, because I will say Austin Aries.
I swear to God, if Roderick Strong touches the NXT title, I'm boycotting NXT for a year. Fuck Roderick Strong.
I know.
Look, all you motherfuckers.
I know everybody wants to see strong style against
Fuck
Nakamura.
Roderick Strong. No, what I want to see is Roderick Strong break his neck against Shinsuke. Can you do that? Shinsuke, you injured all these other fuckers. Injure Roderick Strong for me, please. Fuck him.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like I would say Austin Aries would have been prime in line, but yeah, it's not gonna be Hideo. Yeah, and I swear to God, I think that WWE, NXT, I think they really want to have that match because, you know, 2 Japanese stars, but Hideo, he keeps getting injured, and it sucks. But,
Has Kenta and Nakamura, I'm not going to call him a Tommy, I'm just going to say Kenta at this point. Has Kenta and Nakamura ever, like, wrestled before? I can't even think of it.
I'm pretty sure they have. They have to. They have to.
On a big stage, like on a well-known stage.
Not that I know of. Not that I know of. But I'm pretty sure they wrestled, and you know. But it's kind of like Nakamura versus Brock Lesnar. Like no one remembers that shit. You know, unless like.
Yeah, I don't even remember that happening.
Yeah. Nakamura. I believe Nakamura beat Brock Lesnar. For the
Lesnar beat him for the fake IWGP heavyweight title.
Oh, it was Lesnar that beat him or whatever. Well, they faced against each other. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Lesnar beat him for like the IWGP heavyweight title, and then Nakamura beat him for it back. But Lesnar was still the IWGP heavyweight champion or something because he had the fake belt. And
that's so stupid.
With the fake belt and was showing it off on TNA, and that was in that. We're bringing all the TNA references here, man.
TNA, man, that company. That company's a piece of shit. Fuck TNA. How about that one? All right, so that's NXT Takeover Toronto, and any final thoughts coming out of the show, guys? That you are looking forward to, or anything else, or any. You know, any like debuts or anything that you can think of that somebody may be coming in, because you never know. You never know with these NXT takeovers. I mean, they show like fucking, you know, when Kota Ibushi was, I believe, was at Takeover Dallas. They just show Kota Ibushi. You know what I mean? Do you think we're gonna see anything like that here in Toronto?
As far as I know, I don't know. Is Tommy End worth that? Because I know he's
totally. He's totally worth it. He's such a big star.
Such a big name.
Look, unless Bobby Lashley somehow got away from a TNA contract, that's the only thing I care about. Like, if Lashley's not around, then I don't care.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But it's just topic of conversation, and yeah, I mean, it's just topic of conversation for that. But anyway, that is NXT Takeover 2016, Takeover Toronto 2016. And we all agree in agreement that this should be a fucking awesome show, and we are expecting big things to come out of it. So that is it for Takeover. Now let's get into, I guess, the main event. Jesus Christ, the Survivor Series. Who will survive? I just remember back in the day when the Survivor Series first came around, where you had teams like the Maniacs. Like the Dream Team, like the Millionaires, Money Incorporated. You know, you got team names. Now it's just Team Raw versus Team SmackDown. We're looking at
or like whoever the team captain is. It's like Team Triple H versus Team Umaga.
Yeah,
like, how the fuck is Umaga a team captain?
Yeah,
like, who made the guy that can't speak English a team captain? Like the fuck?
There's no creativity, and that's the point I'm trying to make here. But let's get into our Survivor Series 2016 predictions here, and I will say this: there is some intriguing things come out of the show. Not necessarily wrestling matches wise. There's a couple things in here, but at the end of the day, I totally believe that there's gonna be some good things to come out of this show overall. Let's talk about the first match here for the Intercontinental Championship, which is going to be The Miz versus Sami Zayn. Now, The Miz, it was supposed to be Dolph Ziggler, but The Miz won the Intercontinental Championship on last night's SmackDown, beating Dolph Ziggler, which I was very highly upset over, because you guys know that I am a Dolph Ziggler mark. But nevertheless, I totally believe that The Miz and Sami Zayn, they're going to put on a good match against each other. I cannot see Dolph Ziggler not being at Survivor Series. Maybe he'll interfere and actually cost The Miz the title, have Sami Zayn win it. Now the question is, oh, well, Sami Zayn wins, the title goes to Raw. I truly believe that WWE is going to work something out to have Sami Zayn to go over to SmackDown and still keep the Intercontinental Championship on SmackDown. Because you can't have 2 mid-card titles on Raw when your mid-card on Raw is fucking atrocious versus the mid-card on SmackDown where you need a mid-card title because it does one or two things. Either one, no mid-card on SmackDown, right? Where's your other titles at? You're just gonna have the women's title, you're gonna have the WWE Tag Team Championship, the Women's Championship, and possibly, potentially, the Cruiserweight Championship, which we're gonna be talking about after this. But if you have those 2 titles, the Intercontinental Championship and the US Championship on Raw, what does SmackDown do as far as mid-card concerned? Are you telling me guys like, and let's just say they don't get the Cruiserweight Championship, are you telling me guys like, you know, Kalisto, Baron Corbin, you know, The Miz, Dolph Ziggler, you tell me that these guys aren't going to be fighting for anything? Are you telling me that Baron Corbin and The Miz and Dolph Ziggler, you think these guys are going to be elevated to main event status? No, that's not going to fucking happen. So, I believe Sami Zayn is going to win. But I also believe that Sami Zayn is going to be coming to SmackDown because he needs to be on SmackDown. He's just a waste of space on Monday Night Raw, a misused talent. He's not being utilized. He was being fed to fucking Braun Strowman a couple weeks ago. Now he's in an Intercontinental Championship match. Give me a fucking break. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Sami Zayn to win. Possibly interference by Dolph Ziggler. And yeah, that's what I think about that. Ross, what do you think about this match here for Survivor Series?
I think I'm gonna have to go with The Miz to retain the Intercontinental Championship. It would be cool if they could have Sami Zayn move to SmackDown, but I just think they're gonna keep him on Raw, and they're gonna be like, well, screw it, we're just keeping you on Raw, buddy.
All right. just like fuck you. You're gonna be on Raw.
So Miz, he'll retain, and then Ziggler and Miz will have another match at TLC with a stipulation, maybe. The TLC, that'd be cool.
Ladder match, maybe, or something. Yeah, ladder. I was thinking that. Mm-hmm.
That'd be pretty cool. So and that would be the final blow off of Miz versus Dolph Ziggler. That's been going on since, what, SummerSlam?
It's been going on for a long time.
It's been going on a while.
After SummerSlam, actually. Because remember, Dolph Ziggler, wrestled Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, like literally the SmackDown after that, yeah. So, yeah, Miz.
Hey, going with The Miz, alright. I was gonna call Chase Miz. Chase, what do you think? Chase, what do you think about this match here? For Survivor Series.
I'm so happy it's not Dolph Ziggler and Sami Zayn. I could already see the IWC smiling ear to ear, getting their lotion ready. I was going to be sickening watching this match, but thank God a real champ is back. The Miz, IC champ. You know, it's kind of weird to say this, but Miz is probably the most improved wrestler. He's been wrestling for, like, ever of 2016. Like, the guy was just like, you know, yeah, he's really good. Yeah, he won the WWE title. But, like, he wasn't really doing much. And now he's, like, one of the best things on WWE TV. Yeah. It's like The Miz is must-see WWE TV type of deal. But I actually wish they would go into more brand warfare. So I would love to see Sami Zayn win. And I know everyone's going to be like, what? Chase, you say Sami Zayn? But it'd be kind of cool. You know, Ziggler cost The Miz the IC title. And then The Miz, he actually has a point to Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon. He's like, see what this man did? We lost the IC title because of him. And then Dolph Ziggler is like, well, I did gain my revenge because you cheated. It'll be great. And then later on, they could say, look, we worked it out with Raw. We're going to have a triple threat ladder match for the IC championship. You know, Sami Zayn still has the title on Raw. It could be like a good storyline where SmackDown guys are trying to get the IC title back. Oh, it'd be beautiful. But too bad WWE's not that smart.
Yeah, they're jumping like through the crowd and like attacking the champ and everything.
Yeah, right. Like, they're just trying to get the IC title. It'll be such a great story. You could like, and it doesn't have to be Sami Zayn as IC champ. You can have it where Sami Zayn defends it against Care Bear. Care Bear wins the IC title.
Oh no.
And then later on, you have it where you have to build up a SmackDown guy, maybe like Baron Corbin or something, to try to take the belt off of him. It'll be a beautiful story, but they're not going to do that. That's too much brain power. So I have to go with the simple answer, The Miz. I would prefer Sami Zayn to win because, like I said, I would rather see more brand warfare, and I'd be kind of interested to see what they would do with Sami Zayn as the IC champion. Like, does he go to SmackDown like you said, Justin, or do they do what I talked about where he stays on Raw and we get a bunch of SmackDown guys trying to get the IC championship back home? It'll be some cool little brand warfare between some of the mid-card guys because, the mid-card scene on Raw, like you said, is weak to all ends. This would actually help out the mid-card scene in Raw, because you have Sami Zayn facing these SmackDown guys who really don't have any direction and who really won't be going for the world title scene anytime soon. So I just feel like Sami Zayn winning would be like the best result, just because they would actually, finally do something with Sami Zayn. Because even though I'm not a big fan of Sami Zayn, the dude is talented, and it's just like the WWE, they don't know what to do with him. They try to make him an underdog, but he wins all the big matches that he needs to win.
Yeah.
So you can't say this guy's an underdog because it's like, well, he beat Kevin Owens, he beat this guy. Like, yeah, sure, he loses against minor opponents, but when it comes to the big matches, Sami Zayn ends up winning, so it's really hard to paint him as an underdog. But I feel like him being IC champion is more productive than The Miz right now being IC champion, because I like the Miz Ziggler feud. It's possibly a feud of the year contender, but it's just like, do we really need to see this again? Can't we just try to spice it up a little bit? So I think Sami Zayn would be the better option, but that's too much brain power for WWE, so we got to go with The Miz.
All right, and so it looks like
people, I'm not super biased against Sami Zayn. Shut the fuck up.
It looks like two predictions for The Miz. I'm the only one who's gonna go with Sami Zayn, but I think we're all in agreement that Sami Zayn should be on SmackDown. Period. I think we're all in agreement as far as that is concerned. But what is WWE gonna do? And a very interesting note, and I know. Probably you guys probably didn't know about this either, but if you guys watch State of the WWE on the WWE Network, if you haven't seen it, I would suggest to go back and watch at least the last 5-10 minutes where Daniel Bryan went fucking off, and pretty much said that to Mick Foley and Stephanie McMahon. Well, Claudio. Cesaro and Sami Zayn, they want to come to SmackDown. It's kind of shootish a little bit. The way that Daniel Bryan was bringing that up, saying that on how Sami Zayn and Cesaro actually want to be on SmackDown, and there's been rumors about that for a while. And he also made a TNA reference to Mick Foley. He dropped TNA to Mick Foley. He was like, "Well, what happened back to you in 2001 when you quit being a general manager? You went to go wrestle for TNA." Amazing.
That's great.
It was amazing. All right, but let's get into our next match here. And you know what? I did say about the Cruiserweight Championship. I'm gonna hold that probably for a couple more matches there, because that match is near and dear to my heart, and I want to hold off on that a little bit. But let's talk about the next match here, which is gonna be a 10-on-10 Survivor Series Tag Team Elimination match. What the fuck is this shit? What is this? How do you get 20 men? 20 fucking men in the ring. It's gonna be a clusterfuck. It's gonna be a clusterfuck on Sunday. You got Team Raw of the New Day versus Sheamus Cesaro versus the Club of Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson versus Enzo and Cass versus the Shining Jobs.
Hey,
Shining Jobs. Fuck them. Versus Team SmackDown of Tag Team Champions Heath Slater and Rhino. I'm skipping them. American Alpha, the Usos, and Breezango. Alright? They're not even worth fucking mentioning. Zack Ryder's team, that's what I'll say, because I like Zack Ryder. But how can you... Honestly, how can you predict this match?
Zack Ryder is forced to be in. I'd rather see the Edge heads again, managed by Edge.
Hey,
these two idiots.
Hey, you want to know something though? There was something on YouTube where where Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder had a little reunion, and Edge came in and started singing the his theme song, Edge's theme song. It was pretty funny. If you guys haven't seen that, it's pretty good stuff. But nevertheless, though,
I wish Undertaker would have tombstoned Edge on SmackDown 900. That was the only thing missing.
a little bit off track here on SmackDown with the Undertaker. He was standing in the ring with 4 of his WrestleMania opponents in the ring at the same time: Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, Edge, and Shane McMahon. I that was the first thing I noticed last night. I was like, he is standing in the ring with 4 of his WrestleMania opponents. Unbelievable. But how can you fucking predict this match? Now on paper, Team Raw is stacked, obviously, on paper. You know, you got former world champion Cesaro in there. You got the club, who kayfabe wise is like they're the toughest team. You got Enzo and Cass, who is very popular with the crowd. You got former tag team champions in the Shining Jobs. And you got the current tag team champions of the New Day versus Team SmackDown of a brand new team that was put together of Heath Slater and the Rhino. You got assholes. I'm not gonna mention. You got Zack Ryder. Who's a former Intercontinental champion. You got American Alpha, who I think this is gonna be their coming out party. They're not really getting favored on SmackDown right now. The crowd's not really behind them right now, which is weird, right? But this is going to be the match that is going to push them to, not really push them to the moon, but the fans are really gonna get behind them once they can see what they can do in this match. They're gonna do a lot of great shit in here. You got the Usos, possibly the best team on Team SmackDown, the most tenured team on Team SmackDown, and Breezango. I don't know who the yeah, and Breezango, like who?
Man, Fandango beat Chris Jericho at WrestleMania.
Right. But I don't even know where to begin on this match. Unfortunately, this is the way I see it. If SmackDown wins, American Alpha's gonna be the lone survivors. Okay. If Raw wins, you have everybody in there. Shine Jobs, they're not gonna be involved in that. Maybe Enzo and Cass will be the remain sole survivors. I don't see New Day. They're the tag team champions. They're gonna break Demolition's record. They don't really need this, in my opinion.
They're the John Cena of the tag team division. They'll say they need it.
You're right. Maybe it'll be Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson eliminate American Alpha. Maybe it'll be Sheamus and Cesaro finally becoming a cohesive unit and winning for Team Raw. I see Team Raw winning because there's too much going on over there with Team Raw. A lot of hot heads on that side, and I believe that Team Raw is going to end up winning here. But if Team SmackDown wins, it's going to be American Alpha standing by themselves. Chase, what do you think about this here? How can you predict this shitty clusterfuck?
Yeah, this one's really hard to predict. This was the one match I was kind of nervous predicting about. But I'm definitely going with Team SmackDown here, mainly because I feel like Team Raw, there's going to be a lot of, like, backstabs on Team Raw, and a lot of, like, Sheamus Cesaro shenanigans, the club, saying, oh, we're too good for this shit, walking out on the team probably. And I feel like you said, try to build up American Alpha and make them look good, or the Black Lives Matter Usos, and, like, build up a like, Black Lives Matter Usos. That's what they are right now. Like, they're just always like, shit. But I feel like we're gonna get one of those two teams being the sole survivors, and then they'll all conclude at the TLC event where we'll get like a awesome TLC ladder match where I'm just like, oh my god, this was awesome and great and everything like that. So I gotta go with Team SmackDown here. I think Team Raw they have enough to stay relevant, all those tag teams minus the Shining Stars, but they have enough where they have enough ammunition to build up for Roadblock, which by the way is happening 2 times this year.
So fucking stupid. And what was that one TNA pay-per-view? What was it, like, Genesis or? It was what?
It was
Turning Point, yeah. Turning Point happened 2 times in TNA. 2 times in 1 year in TNA. I don't remember what year it was. It was like 2008, 2009. It was some shit like that. But yeah. Ross, what do you think about this match? Team Raw versus Team SmackDown. Tag teams, 10 on 10 Survivor Series. Who will survive?
I don't give a shit about this match.
But Sheamus is in here.
Yeah. So I kind of have to care a little bit, but just like it just goes to show you, like the main Raw vs SmackDown match, they had some interaction on Raw. The women had interaction on SmackDown. The tag teams didn't have any interaction at all.
Yeah, because it'll be like fucking gang style. Fucking, you got 20 people fighting in the fucking crowd. Actually, 21 if you count Xavier Woods.
Yeah, true. I don't know. Give me Team SmackDown.
Team SmackDown. I hope Team SmackDown does win. I really do, but I just think that Team Raw. I'll tell you why later on, but yeah, Team SmackDown. For Ross. All right, good stuff. Good stuff. All right, so our next Survivor Series elimination match is a 5-on-5 women's Survivor Series elimination match, and it is Team Raw versus Team SmackDown. Team Raw consists of Charlotte, Bayley, Nia Jax, not like most men, Alicia Fox, and Sasha Banks, with Dana Botch. Of course, Dana Botch is gonna be out there at ringside. She's a fucking slob. She is a fucking slob, but but I digress. Versus Team SmackDown of Nikki Bella, Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, Carmella, and Naomi with Coach Natalya. Wow. Okay, so with this here, they last night on SmackDown, Team SmackDown beat up Team Raw, and Charlotte and Bayley and everyone else, they went, heading for the hills. I honestly think that Team Raw is gonna end up winning this match. Reason being is because of the fact that I truly believe that how Chase eloquently puts the Golden Children. So if Charlotte's gonna be in that match, I think she's gonna win. But nevertheless, though, I just think that Team SmackDown, obviously, it's not the star power. It's just something. I just feel more comfortable saying that Raw is gonna win. I can't really say on like why or give you like details on that. It's just that I don't know. Maybe because Nikki Bella is team captain and Becky Lynch is, the women's champion. Maybe that done it for me right there. I don't know, which is one of the most fucking stupid things of all time. How can Charlotte be the team captain but not Becky Lynch? I don't know. And I think, and personally, out of all four in the four horsewomen, Becky Lynch is my favorite, and that kind of grew on me. A little bit with Becky Lynch being my friend. I love Becky Lynch. I truly think that Becky Lynch is obviously the most underrated out of all the four, in my personal opinion. But I digress. But I am gonna go with Team Raw winning this match, and I think it's gonna end it with Nia Jax or somebody, like I'm not like most men, possibly pinning. I can see Becky Lynch getting pinned against Nia Jax. What about you, Ross? What do you think about this match here?
End of the day, I picked Team SmackDown on the other one because I think it's gonna be like 1-1 going into the big 5-on-5 with the top guys. So I said SmackDown for the tag teams. I'm going with the females on Raw to win this matchup here. And I don't know what to expect, but I guess it could be a show stealer. Maybe.
It's gonna be a pretty good match, I think.
Yeah.
Minus Dana Botch, but yeah.
I think it's gonna end with either Charlotte or Sasha Banks winning it for Team Raw.
All right. What about you, Chase? What are you thinking about this match here?
I hate 5-on-5 women wrestling. It's disgusting. It's been new. Like, seriously, these women can't put on good. Like, whenever you get the women in a clusterfuck match like this, they always go way too over the top. They always do the most stupid spots. Like, I'm not trying to say these women are bad wrestlers per se. It's just they try too hard to like get the crowd to go ooh and ah instead of just sit there silently bored the whole time. But yeah, like you guys said, Team Raw. I think really because, to be honest here, they've been building up Nia Jax as so unstoppable as of late, and it's kind of hard to see her, lose in that situation. It's just like, why would you build up Nia Jax and then all of a sudden like have her lose? Like that's just kind of like a waste of the time you've been using with her and everything like that. So I would have to say Team Raw for sure because one, Golden Children rule. My dream scenario would be like the final two being Nikki and Charlotte, and they just and they don't have a match. They just have a politics battle. It'd be oh my god, it'd be the greatest thing ever. Like there's so many matches where I just would like to see the backstage, behind the scenes politics, and just seeing Nikki and Charlotte argue of who's the queen bee of the WWE. That would be like the greatest scene on planet Earth for me. You guys know I'm a huge Nikki Bella fan. Like, everyone likes to say, how can you be a fan of Nikki Bella? Well, how do you like the wrestlers you like? Not my fault Nikki Bella entertains me. But when it comes down to it, Team Raw's winning this one. Like Ross said, have the 1-1 split before the big match so we get those corny backstage interviews where Shane's like, so Steph, don't you see? We're up 1-1. What are you going to do now? It's tied. The big match is coming. Shane, I'm so positive Team Raw will win. Like, the corny shit that we're going to have to see and sit through for the Survivor Series.
All right, so it looks like here that I'm going to be going with Team Raw. Also, all of us are going with Team Raw, right? It looks like it. Okay,
yeah,
so all right, so good shit on that. All right, so let's get into our next match, and this is dear to my heart. The reason why I'm holding this off is because that the way I'm going through this structure is I'm trying to go through the the most important matches, and I think it's possibly going to be the third most important match of the night overall, in my opinion at least. The Brian Kendrick, which is the Cruiserweight Champion, versus Kalisto, and this is for the Cruiserweight Championship. If Kalisto wins, he will be the Cruiserweight Champion. The Cruiserweight Championship will go to SmackDown, and the entire Cruiserweight division is going on over to SmackDown Live. This needs to fucking happen. Ever since the Cruiserweight Classic, and I have the shirt. I got this shirt before the Cruiserweight Classic because I was that damn excited for it. Kalisto has to win. The Cruiserweights are dead waste of space on Monday Night Raw. You cannot have the Cruiserweights on Raw where you have a match for 5 minutes and have, out of that 5 minutes, have 3 of those minutes to be in commercial break. Showing Popeye's Chicken. Showing something about fucking original series on USA Network that I don't give a shit about. Show me something about Todd fucking Chrisley or Kristen O. Best. I don't give a shit. But what I do give a shit about is the Cruiserweights. And I was so excited for until they announced them on Monday Night Raw. As soon as they announced them on Monday Night Raw that they're going to be exclusive to Monday Night Raw, I was fucking pissed off because I already know what Monday Night Raw is going to be about. It's not going to be about the wrestling. It's going to be about bullshit. The backstage segments with these guys of TJ Perkins, of Brian Kendrick, it is some of the most gut-wrenching thing that I ever seen in my life. When I watched the Cruiser...
Brian, what do you want to do here? Why are you in here? How'd you know Brian Kendrick was behind you, dumbass? For all you know, that could have been Care Bear and could have kicked your ass and told you the lie.
Exactly. And just for watching the Cruiserweight Classic, you become infatuated with everyone that you've seen. And a lot of people are saying, well, the Cruiserweights are not getting over because, they're not as over as you think they are. They got over in the Cruiserweight Classic. You look at these sit down.
I think Rich Swann's getting over though.
But not as over as he should be right now. He should be even more over right now than what he actually is. Like these sit down interviews, the Rich Swans, the Cedric Alexanders, the Kota Ibushi's, the Jack Gallaghers, the Lindsay Dorados, the Noam Dars, you probably only knew maybe about, and I'll be quite honest with you, I knew who Kota Ibushi was, I knew who Cedric Alexander was, I knew who Rich Swann was of his match with Finn Balor at on an NXT show, and I'm trying to think of Zack Sabre Jr. of course, but
Tony Nese.
Yeah, so basically my point is that out of all those guys that are there, you knew probably the whole entire field of the cruiserweights coming out of the Cruiserweight Classic, and you want to see more of them. We don't get that on Monday Night Raw. We do not get that on Monday Night Raw.
Which is crazy. Like, you would think they would have enough time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, isn't that the reason why they needed the Cruiserweight division? Stephanie was like, well, we have 3 hours, so we have to have the Cruiserweights on our show.
It's just that Kevin Dunn and Vince McMahon, they don't care about professional wrestling. All they care about is, when is Roman Reigns' next segment? When is, when Seth Rollins has enough water in his hair? They'll go through that checklist first before they go through the most important things. Okay, does this make sense? Is this gonna be a good wrestling match? They don't care about that. So with Kalisto winning, which I'm pretty much 99.9% sure that he's gonna win the match. Why, you may ask? 205 Live. That's gonna be appearing after SmackDown on the WWE Network every single Tuesday. Why would WWE, and we know how WWE loves to save money, why would WWE have these guys on payroll for 2 major venues every week for fucking Raw and SmackDown? That's 2 paydays. They're not gonna make 2 paydays for these guys, especially for guys that never really be on TV in the first place. Why would WWE spend their money on we're not really spending their money, but really have these guys go from town to town, show from show? They're not gonna let that happen. 205 Live is on SmackDown. It's obviously after SmackDown, and the Cruiserweights are going to SmackDown Live. It's just gonna make things a lot easier for these guys. I'm going with Kalisto winning, and Kalisto being a Cruiserweight champion is gonna help the division even more because fans are already behind Kalisto too as well. So so after that whole big monologue, because it is near and dear to my heart. So sorry for the whole long monologue there, but god damn it, the Cruiserweight division needs to thrive on SmackDown, and I'm going Kalisto winning. Chase, what do you think about this here, Kalisto versus the Brian Kendrick?
I think it's going to be a good matchup, and I do agree that Kalisto needs to win. I think the problem is with the Cruiserweights is that the WWE is trying to capture the magic and the feel that the Cruiserweight Classic had with the purple ropes and the purple graphics and everything like that. It's like, don't do that. Like you're just covering what these guys can do.
I mean, I like that. I like that, but the main thing of matter with it is the commentary. The commentary is fucking god awful. You cannot have what more. Go ahead.
They can't capture the magic. They can't capture the magic because what made the Cruiserweight Classic special was it's where it took place. Not really because of the ring they're wrestling. And I get they want to try to make it its own division, but you can do that on 205 Live. You don't need to do that every weekly show and stuff like that. But I do feel because it was funny too when they announced Raw was going to have a Cruiserweight division. They was like, oh, Kalisto's going to Raw because he's going to be the new Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
That Cruiserweight division. Strong is on SmackDown, so it's
so
about
stupid.
They would fit well on SmackDown, much better more on SmackDown. It's not because SmackDown's more of the quote-unquote wrestling show. I just feel like the presentation and the feel of SmackDown fits more with the Cruiserweights than it does on Raw. While Raw, when you look at Raw side of things, it's so hard, especially with the main eventers on Raw, a lot of them are Cruiserweights, like Seth Rollins, Finn Balor is in the Cruiserweight division if we want to go based off weight classes and stuff like that. So it looks bad when Finn Balor is running around with the Universal title, and it's so why can't TJ Perkins or why can't Tony Nese, why can't these fuckers go on and win the Universal Championship? Why are they so subjected with the Cruiserweight title? At least on the SmackDown side of things, you have more bigger dudes in the main event, like Ortons and the Wyatts and the Ambroses and AJ Styles. Yeah, he's kind of small, but he still wrestles against these bigger guys like the John Cenas and stuff like that. I just feel SmackDown, it fits more with the Cruiserweights because it's only 2 hours, more fast-paced action. You won't have a lot of commercial breaks. There won't be a lot of downtime. So really, to be honest, I feel it fits more with the Cruiserweights, and Kalisto winning will be a good jump start, hopefully, for the Cruiserweight division, because the Cruiserweight division, it's something that can help. The only problem is nowadays a lot of wrestlers wrestle like the Cruiserweights. When you see main eventers doing what Cruiserweights do, it kind of takes away some of the value of what the Cruiserweights represent.
Right.
But the Cruiserweights, there's supposed to be nonstop action, and I feel like as long as you get that nonstop action, nonstop flow going, that's what's going to make it fun, because that's what made the Cruiserweights fun back in like 03, back in WCW and stuff like that. Because it's just like that's what Cruiserweight wrestling is. Like, everyone thinks it's like, oh, it's just them doing the flips and shit like that. No, it's just about like just going out there, just showing off like what these smaller guys can do and why they're worth the company. And also helps build up, like, because that's what made Rey Mysterio such a big star, was because like he was a king of his own division. It was like, yeah, Ray's like the best cruiserweight, but like, yeah, he can't beat up Big Show or stuff like that, but he's a cruiserweight champion. I don't expect them to beat up Big Show. I expect them to beat up Spike Dudley and
yeah.
in the cruiserweight. Yeah, and Jamie Noble. Like, I expect Ray to be like the greatest of all time in the cruiserweight division, like, and stuff like that. So hopefully when Kalisto does win, and if Kalisto doesn't win, I don't know what the fuck they're thinking.
Yeah.
I think Kalisto's turning heel too, because did you see that promo after he beat up Baron Corbin? It was very heelish. He was all like smiling. He was all like, "A long time coming. He's been waiting for this."
Lucha.
We're gonna have a Kalisto Lindsay Dorado.
Yeah, well, and remember, guys, there's a lot of guys from the Cruiserweight division that for the Cruiserweight Classic that still is coming on over. WWE is very high on Jack Gallagher. WWE is...
And don't forget, also with the Cruiserweights going to SmackDown, Raw gets rid of the best ass kicker in the WWE, in Hunico, and they send him over to SmackDown.
Oh my god. Yeah, but and before we get to Ross here, there's been some people out there as well who's been kind of worried that the Cruiserweights won't get enough time on SmackDown. Who cares? They got 205 Live right after SmackDown. That's the beauty of it. That is the complete beauty of it, and the fact that if Kalisto wins, and let's say on SmackDown let's say they only have one match per show, which I'm fine with. Or let's say they have a backstage segment. I am totally fine with that, because 205 Live is after SmackDown anyway. And we're still gonna see the Cruiserweights. We're still gonna see a basketball storylines, which is gonna be pretty good. But Ross, what do you think about this match here of the Cruiserweights of Brian Kendrick and Kalisto?
I think, like you guys have said, it makes the most sense to have the Cruiserweight division to SmackDown. You have this 205 Live show, which I don't think is really necessary, but they're going to go ahead and do it. So since it's going to be there, might as well move every Cruiserweight to SmackDown, have Kalisto win this match, and you just go from there. You have one Cruiserweight match a week or whatever on SmackDown. Do something on SmackDown and be like, well, we're going to set up this match for 205 Live. Go check it out after SmackDown, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, that must suck if you go to SD Live, you're hoping for like a bomb dark match between like AJ Styles and John Cena, and then you get like this Cruiserweight crap, and you're just like, well, let's just Talking Smack. Are they getting rid of Talking Smack now?
Talking Smack is going to be after the 205 Live.
Oh.
Lame.
Is 205 Live going to be an hour?
205 Live, I believe, maybe 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, like that can't be an hour.
It may be 30 minutes. I don't think that matters, because it's gonna be on the network. They can go 45 minutes. They can go an hour. They can go.
Yeah.
They do whatever the fuck they want to do. But I believe it's gonna be 30 minutes though. Because 205 Live, that could be not 3 matches. That could be 2 matches, 2 15-minute matches.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
And maybe, maybe a 10-minute match, maybe a 15-minute match, maybe like 5 minutes for something else, like a promo or something else.
So, yeah.
All right. So enough about the Cruiserweights. God damn it, Kalisto, you better fucking win, man. Or not even you better win. You better be booked to win that match. But yeah, I'm very, very hopeful of Kalisto bringing the Cruiserweights to SmackDown. All right. So on to our next match. It's our co-main event, aka no main event. We have Team Raw versus Team SmackDown, and this is the big one here of Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho, Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, and Seth Rollins for Team Raw versus Team SmackDown of AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose, Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton, Shane McMahon, and James Ellsworth, who's gonna be there as well at ringside, which should be bring up some very funny scenarios between James Ellsworth and Braun Strowman. Yes, I'm already predicting that because it's gonna be fucking obvious that's gonna happen. But I digress. This match here, I think this is gonna be a great match. I really think it's gonna be a great match. This should at least go like 40-45 minutes. I mean, this is gonna be a fucking great match. AJ and Seth Rollins. Oh my goodness, that's gonna be boner personified right there. You know, you got Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. You know, I really want to see that. Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman. The interaction of former Shield members, Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. What's gonna happen there? You know, there's gonna be a lot of stuff going on here in this match. Prediction: I'm gonna go with Team SmackDown. I generally think that, and it could go both ways with this here, but I generally think that the pep talk of that The Undertaker brought to SmackDown last night, I truly believe that if Undertaker's gonna give a pep talk to anybody, I'm pretty sure that the team's gonna go over. Now there's the other side of it that, you know, if you guys lose, I'm gonna bring hell. I also see that coming as well, but Undertaker brings hell anyway. So, what's the difference between, you know, bringing this type of hell versus another type of hell? So, I don't really understand that aspect. But I'm going to predict with Team SmackDown winning. Soul Survivor. Ooh, man, that is a great question. If it's going to be a Soul Survivor, it's probably going to be Dean Ambrose. I'm probably going to say Dean Ambrose. If there's gonna be a Soul Survivor, and you'll probably be, I can probably be Kevin Owens, in being a Soul Survivor. But yeah, Team SmackDown for the win. Chase, what do you think about this match here, Team Raw versus Team SmackDown?
This is going to be a great matchup. I'm excited for this one. I went back and watched the classic 05 SmackDown versus Raw matchup with Big Show and Kane were wreaking havoc and stuff like that. But yeah, I can't wait for the possible matchups that we're going to see, all the possible outcomes that you talked about. And really, to be honest here, I think the Soul Survivor will not be Dean Ambrose, because I think SmackDown's mascot, James Ellsworth, will cost Dean Ambrose in this match. Like, I think Ellsworth...
That's true, that could happen.
No chin music hit Dean Ambrose on accident, and then it leads more to Ellsworth and Dean Ambrose shenanigans. I don't give a fuck. But I think the Soul Survivor is going to be the new face of fear. I think Bray Wyatt will get a good rub, because I think that what they're doing with Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton is kind of like not super interesting, because you kind of almost feel like Orton's going to turn.
Yeah, he is.
At the same time, I don't think he's going to turn at Survivor Series. I think they're going to kind of wait a little bit for him to turn. I feel like, you know, the Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton program can go on for a little bit longer, at least in my personal opinion. I would like to see it go a little bit longer. But yeah, I honestly feel like Bray Wyatt will get the rub here and be the Soul Survivor. I think AJ Styles will get eliminated a little bit early on thanks to Dean Ambrose shenanigans. Kind of like, you know, just eliminate the champion. I think Kevin Owens will get a good rub here. But ultimately, I feel like Bray Wyatt, the new face of fear, will get the rub here, and he'll end up winning and stuff like that. Maybe Orton does betray on him, and then Orton gets his like 5th Soul Survivor. Soul Survivor in 03, Survivor in 04, Soul Survivor in 05. So I guess I did like 4th Soul Survivor title.
Yeah, 3rd or 4th, yeah.
Oh,
and if Raw does win, I think the Soul Survivor is obviously going to be Roman Reigns. Like, let's be real here.
If Raw wins, I think Soul Survivor could be Braun Strowman. That's just me. I mean,
I wanted to mention that. Like, I'm not a big fan of Care Bear, but I hate when WWE does this, where they get a guy and they're like undefeated, and so they have to do stupid ways for them to get eliminated from the match. See Rusev at Survivor Series 2014, he had to get counted out. Del Rio at like Survivor Series, what was it, 2010?
Yeah.
Where he had the injury and stuff like that, so they took him out of the match. I hate when WWE does that, where they have a guy that's like, they're building up to be like big, strong, no one can stop them, and then they have it where it's just like, oh, well, they can get eliminated in the Survivor Series match, and it takes this much offense. Why do you put them in the match in the first place? Like, you know, just have it, like, you know, if that guy's supposed to be so goddamn dominant, he should have just gone through Team SmackDown in an instant. You don't need to tag in anyone else. Like, I wish WWE would do that one time, where it's just like, one guy's so dominant that he doesn't need his whole team. Like, he just says, fuck this, I'll eliminate everyone. So, you know.
I believe if Braun Strowman does get eliminated, I believe it's gonna be like a disqualification type of situation where he's like, if he does get eliminated, have it be like a disqualification, like how Chase saying, don't let it be like a stupid count out or a fucking fake injury or anything of that nature. One thing I did not get to address, and I'll ask you guys both, and we'll get to you, Ross, on your prediction. Shane McMahon being in the match. Do you agree with Shane McMahon being in this match, or should it still been Baron Corbin in this match? I personally thought it still should have been Baron Corbin. Shane McMahon, he doesn't really do anything. And I love Shane. I really do love Shane, but I truly don't think this does anything for him at this particular point in time, being in this match. Like, what is going to come out of with this? What do you guys think about that?
I don't necessarily care either way. It would have been nice to have Baron Corbin in the match, but I'm okay with Shane being in it. It's just kind of like whatever to me. I don't know. It doesn't make a difference either way.
What about you, Chase?
I agree with you, Justin. I feel like Shane being in this match is almost as like that they're paying Shane way too much money for doing nothing. So it's like, hey, go out there and wrestle again, Shane. People love you. Do the dance. Look like you're trying to live through a midlife crisis or something. That's what he looks like. He looks like an old man going through a midlife crisis, and he's all like, I gotta be hip and young again. Let me wear my Survivor Series baseball jersey and my jeans and my jorts, and let me just my Jordans, and let me just like look fresh to death at like the age of 60.
Fresh to death. Oh.
Like, it's ridiculous. Like, but like, I just don't see what Shane adds to the match. I just don't see where Shane comes in. What is Shane trying to prove by being in this match? And
yeah.
Like, well, Steph, I can actually go in there and I can actually wrestle. Like, we all know Steph could go in there and wrestle. All she would have to say is like, bow down to me, or otherwise my husband. It's like, you don't even get Triple H involved, where Triple H is like, if you want to be in the match, then I'm in the match too, and stuff like that. We still haven't heard from Triple H. Where the fuck is this idiot? Like, come on, Triple H, I need you in my life, man. I need you. I'm missing you, dog.
Very good stuff there. And Ross, what about your prediction for this match officially?
This one was a little tough for me to predict. Originally, going into this, I thought, well, it would be okay for Team SmackDown to get it, like, let them get the rub here, Raw is usually the #1 brand, but they tend to give SmackDown these matches a lot. I know what bragging rights they did. Did SmackDown won the Team Raw versus Team SmackDown?
I believe Team SmackDown won.
Team SmackDown won that one too. So it seems like SmackDown tends to win these things, but for whatever reason, I just feel like Team Raw is gonna win this one. I don't know why, but I don't know. I just got a feeling Team Raw is gonna win, and you know who's gonna do it for Team Raw.
All right. All right. So Roman Reigns prediction for Ross being a sole survivor. So very interesting. A lot of storylines that could possibly come out of this match, and one thing I didn't really specify and say anything. I truly believe that here at Survivor Series, whatever happens, if we agree with it or if we don't agree with it, we're going to start seeing the seeds being planted into our brains for WrestleMania. And a lot of stuff could come out of this here. A lot. Especially between with this main event match here of the 5-on-5 Survivor Series match. And even, I'll probably, maybe, in a nutshell, probably would say the Talents and Tag Team Survivor Series match. But let's get into our main event. Let's get into the fantasy warfare just became real. Whatever the fuck the slogan is. The one of the most stupid slogans I ever heard in my life. This match being put together because of WWE 2K17. Hey, WWE 2K17 is going to sell regardless. How about you just rebuild the match of of something that y'all did, is something that y'all fucked up on at WrestleMania 20 between Bill Goldberg and Brock Lesnar. Obviously, this match here is what everybody has been talking about. This is the match here that everybody's been waiting for. This is the match that, you know, we've been highly anticipating for years. Again, are we going to see that match that we've been waiting for since WrestleMania 20? We're going to see the match, but is it going to deliver? It's not. It's going to be about 8 minutes. Goldberg's going to get gassed out in like 2 minutes. And as far as predictions is concerned, oh my god, man. That's a tough one. Brock Lesnar has not been pinned. He hasn't been pinned in 2+ years. It seems like now, like almost 3 years, I believe now. That Brock Lesnar.
Has it been since
Triple H lost?
the Triple H?
At 29, yeah.
At 29, holy shit! Since 29, that's almost 3 years. That of itself is like a record. Not a record, but no, it's not a record, but at least a record in, I guess, PG era WWE. That's definitely a record. But Goldberg, kayfabe wise, can beat Brock Lesnar. Kayfabe wise, I'm talking about kayfabe right now. Is it time that Brock Lesnar loses in a clean fashion? Are we gonna see a spear? Are we gonna see a jackhammer? I don't think this is Goldberg's first and only match. He's gonna be there for WrestleMania. Fuck me, man. When Brock Lesnar came back, everybody thought he was just gonna destroy John Cena, which he did, but he lost. I think it's gonna be the same thing here with Goldberg. I'm gonna go with Brock Lesnar, but I definitely see Goldberg and Lesnar going up against each other again, maybe prior to WrestleMania. Maybe they could go up against each other at the Royal Rumble. And Goldberg, he's in shape. He's obviously in great shape, but he's not in wrestling shape. If you saw Monday Night Raw, this motherfucker is sweating up a storm. Like when he was doing the clothesline over the top rope, you can obviously tell he has not been in the ring for a while. And I kind of wish that he had like the Rock treatment. Where remember when the Rock, when he came back, when he originally came back, he had his first match back in 2012 at Survivor Series. Rock looked fucking good in the ring, and I made that prediction at that time that, well, the Rock, he was gonna be training for this match. He was gonna be in the ring, you know, down in FCW training. And I don't think Goldberg has been doing any of that, quite honestly, just by the way that he looks when he was being physical in the ring. But I'm gonna go with Brock Lesnar winning. It's gonna be a short match. It's gonna be about, don't expect this to go over, you know, 12 minutes at tops. But nevertheless, Brock Lesnar's winning, and yeah, that's it. So Ross, what do you think about this main event match, Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar? What are your predictions, and what do you think is going to come after this?
This is the match I'm probably most looking forward to on the pay-per-view. Not from an in-ring perspective, just like based off how they've built up all these matches. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, this match right here, it's not going to go very long, or at least it shouldn't. If this match goes 20 minutes,
look out! Like
this may be worse than the WrestleMania 20 match, but I think if they keep it fairly short, you know, like about that 10-12 minute range or so, it could be solid. Like, I'm not really setting my expectations too high for this one, just because I know Goldberg hasn't wrestled in so many years. But how could you get any worse than the WrestleMania 20 match? Like,
oh, there's ways. There's ways. Just ask Jeff Hardy and Sting.
I agree.
I think best case scenario, everyone, you know, like, nothing goes wrong. This match is like, you know what? That was fine. You know, it was okay. You know, it was good. You know, it did what it had to do. I think it's more of just like a spectacle kind of thing, and you know, I'm okay with the match happening. Like, that's totally fine with me. But I just hope everything works out. And will this be the only match for Goldberg? It very well might be. I think he may have another match, but that's it. I don't really want it to be against Lesnar. I'd rather see Goldberg face somebody else if he's gonna have another match.
Roman Reigns.
But yes, that'd be awesome, right? Roman Reigns.
Yeah, but I can see it now. Roman Reigns versus not Brock Lesnar. Roman Reigns versus Goldberg. Battle of the Spears. Who has the best spear?
Do it.
Oh,
Spear.
fuck me. WWE, don't listen to this.
And that's the whole build-up. Spear.
Yeah, WrestleMania 26? No. It was 26, right? With the Jericho? Okay,
Yeah. That stupid exclamation. Spear. And I was like, I hope he gets speared by Chris Jericho and he breaks up dominance and never wrestle.
Yeah, and he lost. And Edge did lose.
That was a great. I thought Edge was so winning that match, and I was gonna be pissed off for WrestleMania 26 because I already knew Batista was gonna lose. There was no way he was winning against John Cena, and I was gonna have my heart broken because the Heartbreak Kid was gonna retire. But then Chris Jericho came through. He came through, beat that jobber Edge. I don't know how Edge made the Hall of Fame. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm actually gonna start a petition soon to get Edge out of the Hall of Fame. So hopefully, I'll sign this. It'll come out during WrestleMania time. Edge is not a WWE Hall of Famer. I have facts and evidence to prove it.
All right.
But prediction, you gotta keep this little, I guess, undefeated streak that Brock Lesnar has had for the last 3 or 4 years. So Goldberg should not be the guy to finally beat Brock Lesnar after this 3 or 4 year run that Lesnar's had. But Goldberg doesn't need it, and plus Goldberg was the only one who had never lost to Lesnar or whatever the heck. So now Goldberg can lose to Lesnar. So
yep. Yes. So before we get to Chase and get his prediction here, question: will there be blood in this match?
No. I think Lesnar's getting busted open by Goldberg.
Think Lesnar's getting busted open by Goldberg? Yeah, I don't think Goldberg will be busted open.
I don't think because Goldberg wants his kid to see this match. I don't think.
Yeah.
Well, maybe.
But Lesnar doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Lesnar does not give a shit. You see the elbows on Orton.
Doesn't care about Goldberg's kids. Are you kidding me?
I don't give a shit about your kids. Oh, it's amazing. Hey, that right there though, that made Heath Slater's career though. Brock Lesnar made Heath Slater's career, as I always advocate that Vince Russo made Booker T's career too. So I will say that. But
for the Booker T.
Yeah, I do it for the Booker T's, and he actually booked Booker T to be in the main event against Jeff Jarrett at Bash at the Beach 2000. But off of WCW, Chase, let's get your prediction here. What do you think, or who do you think is gonna win this match between Brock Lesnar and Goldberg at Survivor Series? Who will survive?
Oh, it will be easy, as Goldberg will come in and survive and conquer the beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar.
Oh, wow.
All this talk of Brock Lesnar being unbeatable, he will be beaten, he will be battered, he will be bruised by one Bill Goldberg. I can see it now. This will be the best story ever told. Lesnar goes in for a suplex, but he can't do it. He just doesn't know why he can't do it. He tries and tries and tries to lift the Bill Goldberg, and he can't do it. Lesnar separates, looks on in shock as Goldberg just goes one scream, goes, spears Brock Lesnar. Everyone's like, oh, Lesnar's down. Lesnar gets out of the ring. He's holding his abdomen. Paul Heyman's like, Brock. Okay. Lesnar's like, yeah, I'm okay. Lesnar goes back in there, tries for another suplex, can't do it. We don't know why he can't suplex Goldberg. It's such a great story. And then afterwards, he goes for an F5. He can't F5 Goldberg. Goldberg reverses jackhammer. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's beautiful. Goldberg wins. The fans are happy. And everyone's like, what the fuck? I paid this much money for a squash match? Yes, you did. Sign up for the WWE Network. You get this great quality up until January 1st. Because December 31st, because I think Goldberg's going to win. I think my match that I booked would be the greatest match ever told. But I think Goldberg's going to win, mainly because I think WWE sees a commodity in Goldberg right now. I feel like Goldberg winning would actually help Lesnar in some way. Because you got to have Brock have some sort of kryptonite. Like, you know, every wrestler needs their kryptonite. And I feel like a lot of people are kind of like starting to turn on the whole Suplex City, I'm Brock Lesnar and stuff like that. So, like, WWE, if you want to steal the match that I just booked for you guys, go right ahead. Trust me, it'll make millions of dollars. All you fuckers on the internet will be pissed off, like, really, that's it? But just think about it. We have Brock questioning himself. Brock looked at his hands. He couldn't understand why he couldn't suplex Bill Goldberg. It'd just be beautiful, man. And also, no Undertaker BS. I don't need no Undertaker cheese in this match. We don't need Undertaker running out and choke slamming Goldberg and having Brock Lesnar needing help to beat Goldberg, because then that will just lead to a Lesnar Goldberg 3 match, and no one wants to see that shit. No one wants to see Lesnar Goldberg 2. Like, this is what you wanted, Vince. Not
right.
Us. But I think Goldberg should win here, because if you're going to bring out back Goldberg, especially the way you've been bringing him back, you got to solidify him. You can't just have it where Goldberg looks like a chump. Lesnar, he only has, like, what, till next WrestleMania of his contract. I think the plans have kind of gone south with the whole we want him as Universal Champion heading into WrestleMania. I think those plans have kind of gone south a little bit. So, yeah, have Goldberg come back, have Goldberg win. Say Goldberg's like, well, I beat Brock, so I'm going to the Royal Rumble, and set up Goldberg's appointment at the Rumble for WrestleMania. That's what I think would be, like, the best course of action for Goldberg, where it's like Goldberg's like, you know, I feel like I have one run left in. You know, you just have where Goldberg comes out and stuff like that. And then Brock Lesnar, he goes on his redemption tour. I don't know, fucking suplex.
The redemption tour.
Yeah. Trying to redeem himself from the embarrassing loss to Bill Goldberg. But I'm telling you, my match will be the greatest match ever. Like, everyone will be like, oh, no, that's some squash match. Why did I pay for it? Well, fuck you. You don't appreciate storytelling. Like, that's great. Well, you guys cannot picture that. That would be like the greatest thing ever. Can't you just picture the scenario that I just said? Especially when Goldberg spears him and Paul Heyman's, like, checking on Brock, as Brock is just on the outside, like, oh.
Yeah, that would be fucking amazing. That would be fucking amazing. Not gonna lie. Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, Goldberg for the win, and honestly, kayfabe wise, Goldberg is the only person to pin Lesnar right now. Maybe Samoa Joe. I think Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar, I think they may be primed for a WrestleMania match. I definitely want to see that. If that match happens, then expect me to get on camera and masturbate until I just come in ecstasy. It'll be the Masturbation Celebration as Ross is doing right now. Yes, it'll definitely be that if we get a Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar WrestleMania match.
I saw that at WrestleMania. I'm going to WrestleMania. I got my tickets today.
Oh yeah.
If that match happens, I may rush the ring.
Is that I may rush the ring?
Like, you know what? Let me get in this. Right?
So that is Survivor Series 2016. We went over NXT as well. Before we head off of here, where do you think that WWE is going from here after Survivor Series? Like, do you have any indication or any predictions or anything on what could be possibly next coming out of Survivor Series?
I think WWE has already told us what's coming up next. We have AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose to look forward to. We have the Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens match to look forward to. It's just more of like what's going to be the filler of those cards, TLC and Roadblock. That's what we're trying to kind of like paint out and see. But I definitely feel like we'll get more interesting results if Goldberg wins over Lesnar at Survivor Series. Because if Lesnar wins, it's just kind of like another, oh, I'm Brock, I beat Goldberg, LOL, I'm going to go fight for Universal title. Like, yeah, who cares?
Yeah, I definitely agree. Ross, anything? I mean, what do you think about
I pretty much agree with Chase, but I'd also like to add, I think Triple H is going to show up pretty soon before the year ends.
Thank God, please.
And Seth Rollins, Triple H could happen at Rumble, so I'm thinking we definitely see Rollins soon.
Royal Rumble this year. If Royal Rumble, I'm not really too fond of like this has to be a 4-hour show. I think Royal Rumble has to be a 4-hour show, especially being here in San Antonio, especially being in the Alamo Dome. I think it should, if you're gonna have these big matches, because you could potentially have Brock Lesnar and Goldberg again. You could have potentially of Triple H and Seth Rollins. You may have AJ Styles and The Undertaker, maybe. That could possibly can happen. I mean, there's a lot that could be going on at the Royal Rumble. So maybe being a 4-hour show, and especially the Royal Rumble's gonna take an hour anyway. So you have a regular 3-hour show, regular in there, and be the last hour be the Royal Rumble match. I think that'll be pretty great. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that. We'll have to wait and see. But guys, we are all gonna get out of here. Before we leave here, Ross, if you're gonna plug your stuff, go ahead and do that. What's your stuff you're gonna plug tonight?
Okay, check my YouTube out, Gold Standard 000. Twitter is the same thing, and Instagram. Post baseball card pictures, wrestling pictures, and stuff like that. You know, you can check out Running Ross sometimes on there. You know what I mean? Pinstripes_night is my Instagram. So yeah, check all those out. And yeah.
Alrighty, and Chase. Chase has been great tonight. Who let us do this here on my channel, despite all what happened. So Chase, go and plug your stuff in case if anyone new who doesn't know anything about you is watching.
Yeah, you guys can follow me on YouTube at ChaseOver68. We'll be back on my channel for the TLC.
Yes.
Whichever idiotic WWE pay-per-view is before then.
It's literally in 2 weeks.
Oh, really? Fuck.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll do a doubleheader. Maybe Roadblock will be all announced and everything like that. We'll do a doubleheader, SmackDown and Raw, doubleheader there. But yeah, you guys will see the TLC one on my channel, youtube.com/ChaseOliver, where I talk about a bunch of wrestling. You can also catch me on SportsFan Entertainment, do some college football and MMA talk on there. And you can follow me on Twitter at ChaseOliver68. And no Instagram, because you guys will just stalk me on there and say, Chase, please follow me back, and I'm not going to.
Alright guys, well I am gonna go get out of here. Of course you guys know who I am, JD Vim, part of Vim Nation Wrestling. On the JD Vim channel, we're getting close to, we're gonna get to 5,000 subscribers soon before we know it. So thank you all for the love and support on there. You guys follow me on Twitter and like my Facebook page, where both links are down below. And that is it. We're gonna get out of here, and we will see you guys later. And you guys have a good night. Peace out.